How long you been thinking about this?
Actually, since 2019, when COVID hit, for me, gave me a glimpse on what life would be without football. And, although we wanted to play in 2019, it was nice to kind of spend some time with my family during the fall. And then, once it starts getting into your brain a little bit, it was something that every year I thought a little bit more about. And I thought this year was the right time.
Yeah. Why now?
Time's the ultimate currency. You never have enough, you always want more. And I honestly just want more time with my family. My kids are growing up so fast. I just don't want to miss anything. And they've sacrificed a lot and never complained. I just want to spend time before it's too late.
How tough a decision was this for you?
It was tough. I made it in September. My wife didn't think I was going to follow through with it. But as the year went on, I started to realize that this is a good time. And it was really hard. The hardest part, I think, was yesterday, telling the guys. That, to me, was the hardest part.
And what was the reaction?
They were upset. I was upset. It was emotional. It was good, but it was an emotional time for all of us. And that means it means something. And that meant, it meant something to them, and it meant something to me, and it's something that I'll cherish.
What about reflecting back on your years here? I'm sure in time you'll do it a lot more, but just right off the bat, making the decision, what do you take away from your time here as the head football coach?
The relationships I made. The relationships I made with coaches, the relationships I made with coaches on my staff, and the relationships ultimately that I made with the players. That is something that I will always remember. That's something I'll always cherish. When guys reach out, it's something that you smile because it's something that you've created with somebody else. And I think at the end of the day, it's all about relationships, and I think we've made a lot of positive ones here.
So, what will you miss most about being head football coach here at LaSalle?
I will miss the support. I work for great people. With the teachers in the building and the administrators, and I'm going to miss the players. I'm going to miss practice. Everyone says, you're going to miss the games. Yeah, the games are fun, but the practices is what I really love, and I think I'll miss the practices and being around the guys and things along those lines.
Your dad was a coach. He was a coach on your staff. Did you consult him at all with making this decision?
Yeah, I consulted him during the whole year this year. He don't make any rash decisions. Don't do anything that you're going to regret. But he's been more than supportive. Him and my mother have been more than supportive. My wife has been tremendous in this whole process. My dad was part of that process, but more importantly, my wife was. And then when I told my dad, he was super supportive.
Yeah. East Providence is your final game on Thanksgiving Day. Have you thought about the emotions going into that one, and how important is that game to come away with a win?
It's not so much coming away with the win. It's going out there and having the kids play the best version of football that they possibly can. And if we're on the winning side of that, great. And if we're not, as long as they go out there and play hard. Emotionally, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't think anyone knows until you go through it. So I'll find out Thursday once the game is over, where I'm at emotionally.
I would imagine that hearing the news of this being your last game, the kids are going to dig in even more to try and get you that win.
I hope they just play for each other. I didn't want it to make it about me. That's why I waited so long to tell them. Hopefully they make it about each other, and if we come away with the win, it's great. But coaching isn't a fairy tale, and I found that out last Friday. It would have been great to win a state championship, but our kids played their butts off, and I was super, super proud of them. And that's all I want them to do out there is go out there and play super hard.
Those battles against Henrican over the years, so many great memories, so many great games. That's got to be, the highlight every year and one of the takeaways from your tenure here.
Yeah, a great program, and we got to compete against them at a high level and had some classics. If the ESPN Classic was still on, I'm sure some of those games would probably run. But we have tremendous respect for Bishop Henrican and tremendous respect for Keith. I think I'll miss that. I'll miss that game for sure.
Yeah. So Tom Santori retired as head football coach at Cranston East because I had a similar conversation with him, and now he's back at Johnston High School. So do you think, given the benefit of time and some time with your family, that someday you might return to football?
I want to stay in football in some capacity. What that will look like, I don't know. I don't want to say I'm never going to coach again. I think coaching's in your blood. But for now and for at least for the next 2 years, I'm going to kind of sit back and enjoy some free time.
Well, Congratulations. Best of luck.
Thank you so much.